Shalom, Kol Haloyim Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rechakodash, Shan Yukubad, Ekadwali Bakwab, the Quanyam Nawa, Washalayakim Nawa. That's double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, Shalom, Waparakum, Labakanyam, Shalayasharala. That's peace and blessings to the elect of Israel, and as always, may a double portion of the Holy Spirit be put upon all the brothers that are still offering your bodies as a living sacrifice, pushing out this word in truth and in sincerity. I wanted to basically speak about this phrase, and you see here on Google, I have muscle memory and the definition of it typed in. But what I want to speak about is a phrase that I heard from the Elder Arayala maybe a week or two ago, and he mentioned something called spiritual muscle memory. And I can't think of exactly how he had mentioned it, but just from what I can remember in the video and what the Spirit brings to me, I just wanted to speak about spiritual muscle memory, kind of what it means, and just bring out some precepts surrounding it as it relates to, of course, the time that we're moving into quickly. And so muscle memory, that definition says the ability to reproduce a particular movement without conscious thought, acquired as a result of frequent repetition of that movement. So the ability to reproduce a particular movement without conscious thought. Once again, what we're talking about here in this video is spiritual muscle memory. So not just reproducing any old particular movement, but we're talking about the ability to reproduce a faith-based action without conscious thought. And of course, this happens through repetition. And I want to speak about that repetition, what we go through, what we're going through right now, and how that aids us in this spiritual journey to spiritual muscle memory. Because everything that's happening to us right now is all for the purpose of leading up to allowing us to stand strong in the day of Jacob's trouble. And so the Lord puts us through different chastening. And I'm going to come back to Genesis, the 12th chapter. But we're going to start here in the book of Hebrews, chapter 12, because the chastening that we go through right now is what spiritually whips us into shape. Through that repetition, through constantly being chastised, going through these different trials and tribulations, then all of a sudden, our spirit is being worked. Our faith is being pushed to the limits. And that spiritual muscle memory continues to be worked upon to the point where, hopefully, in the time of Jacob's trouble, we're able to move with faith like that. And the Lord is going to build us all up. Obviously, we know that, but there's still a building process, if you will, that's happening right now. And that repetition to get there happens through chastisement. So this is the book of Hebrews, chapter 12. And I'm going to start reading verse 5. It says, "And ye have forgotten the exhortation which speaketh unto you as unto children. My son, despise not thou the chastening of the Lord, nor faint when thou art rebuked of him. For whom the Lord loveth, he chasteneth, and scourgeth every son whom he receiveth. If ye endure chastening, the Most High dealeth with you as with sons. For what son is he whom the Father chasteneth not? But if ye be without chastisement, whereof all are partakers, then ye are bastards and not sons." So we understand, as verse 9 goes on to say, that the Most High is doing all of this for our benefit, all for our, I'll say benefit once again, so that we can be able to build up or have our faith built up to stand in these days to come, because we're going to have to be able to make quick and decisive actions in these days moving forward. We're going to have to be able to use spiritual discernment in order to make a judgment quick to take action quick, and to take that action with faith, and to do it without that conscious thought, as we read in that definition of what muscle memory is. So being at that level happens through repetition. The kind of repetition that we're going through is spiritual, and it's a spiritual chastisement that the Lord puts us through. As an example, small example, something happens with your car, you're having car troubles, and maybe your funds are low at that time. But somehow the Lord makes, maybe your brother comes around and he's able to give you some more money to help out. Or maybe you stop somewhere at a random gas station and it's a random dude that's able to work on your car, and he's like, it's okay, man, just give me what you got. So you throw him a little bit of change and you all call it a day. But no matter what, the point here is to constantly have faith in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, that you're going to make it through these, and I'll put this lightly, but these smaller chastisements, in order to be built up spiritually for the bigger ones to come, that are coming down the line. Because in the time of Jacob's trouble, it's going to be a fast-paced type of thing. We're going to have to be able to make these actions, make these calls, make a judgment, and move with faith. But that comes with repetition, building up our spiritual muscle memory. So despise not this chastening. I'm going to jump over now to the book of 2 Timothy, I believe, really quickly. Let me see. All right, 2 Timothy 3, verse 12, it says, Yea, and all that will live godly in Hamashiach Yahushai shall suffer persecution. That's a good one as well. But let me see. Man. Give me a second. Let me see if I can type this in. I wonder if it was in the same exact Old Testament. The word often was in there. For then he must often have suffered, nor yet that he should offer himself often, often infirmities. No, let me see in the Old Testament. Give me 1 second, because there was a precept. Okay, it's all good. I'm thinking about a precept that's maybe in the Apocrypha somewhere, but it's all right. For the sake of the video, I'll keep moving forward. What I did want to do is bring out the book of Genesis, chapter 12. And I wanted to just read this really quickly because, of course, we talk about the faith of Abraham. The faith of Abraham, the mercy of King David. These great men have certain attributes that in these times become great stories for us to look back and to say, okay, this is what these great men did. This is how the Lord treated them. And now it's a story for us to be able to examine ourselves and to move forward with that same kind of faith or wisdom, prudence, temperance, so on and so forth. So, of course, here, speaking about Abraham, we're going to read in the book of Genesis, the 12th chapter, how the Lord told him to just get up out of his city, get from where you were, and to go to this new city, this new place, this land that I'm going to give unto you. And the point here being, us that are well learned already, we know that Abraham, he listened immediately, and he just got up and left. And that's the point. So Genesis 12 verse 1 says, Now the Lord had said unto Abram, which at this time his name was Abram, which is Abaram in the Hebrew, and that means Father exalted. So, Now the Lord had said unto Abram, Get thee out of thy country, and from thy kindred, and from thy father's house, unto a land that I will shew thee. So not a land that he's seen before, but a land that I will show thee. And I will make of thee a great nation, and I will bless thee, and make thy name great, and thou shalt be a blessing. And I will bless them that bless thee, and curse him that curseth thee. And in thee shall all families of the earth be blessed. So Abraham departed as the Lord had spoken unto him, and Lot went with him. And Abram was 75 years old when he departed out of Haran. So Abram at this time was dwelling in Haran, and the Lord had came unto him and said, Depart from Haran to a land that I'm going to show you, and that I'm also going to make of you a great nation, and you're going to be blessed. Right? And then I'm going to bless them that bless thee, curse them that curse thee. This was all told. These were just words at this moment. You got to think about that. These were just words that were told to Abram. Of course, now we know his name is Abraham, or his name was later changed to Abraham. But this is why we talk about, or why the scriptures, I should say, talk about the faith of Abraham, because Abraham, he was naturally gifted. He was already given by the Most High that high, intense spiritual muscle memory. And he was able to just move with faith. He just immediately departed. And that's the kind of faith that is going to allow us to be able to stand in these evil days moving forward. That's the whole purpose, the whole point of everything that we're going through, all of this chastisement. And it seems like things get so rough sometimes. Sometimes we get down on ourselves. Sometimes we feel bad. And at random points, you're just asking like, dang, am I doing enough? Am I doing the right thing? Why is this happening to me? Why am I being chastised this often? But it's all for our benefit, so that our spiritual muscle memory can be worked, and so that we can just, without conscious thought, create and do those faith-based actions, those things that are going to lead us to safety and keep us safe and protected in these days moving forward. This precept just came to mind. Let me type this in. Walk by faith. You brothers know what I want now. 2 Corinthians 5:7. Right to the point, for we walk by faith, not by sight. Let me read the verse before it as well. This is 2 Corinthians chapter 5, verse... we'll start at verse 5. It reads, Now he that hath wrought us for the self same thing is the Most High, who also hath given unto us the earnest of the Spirit. Therefore we are always confident, knowing that whilst we are at home in the body, we are absent from the Lord. For we walk by faith, not by sight. And we do have this confidence, and that's why we go through these things. Because I'll say what one of the elders of our camp, Elder Kasab, talks about, what builds confidence is getting W's, getting wins. When you're constantly winning at anything, we can just think about competition, competition-based sport, or even chess, anything, checkers, it doesn't matter. When you're constantly racking up wins, then it builds up your confidence. And of course, before those wins, you do start off naturally losing. But even from those losses, you start to learn. You grow, you keep fighting, you keep duking it out, and then you start picking up on certain things, and then you slowly start to win, and you start racking up your wins. But we're going through this chastisement right now, and all these things are happening unto us, and our wisdom is being increased. Our temperance and prudence, justice and fortitude, all these spiritual attributes are being increased. We're receiving more fear of the Most High when we see certain things go down in the world, which will also motivate us and help us out even right now. But more importantly, that faith aspect is what we need to be able to stand when Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai returns. And so our confidence is being built up through, we'll say these spiritual chastisements, which are nothing more than just receiving repetitions, spiritual reps that we're going through. then we'll be able to walk by faith truly. Because we're doing it right now for sure. But it's going to have to be heightened in the day of Jacob's trouble. So just wanted to speak about that and bring out just those few precepts. This has been on my mind for a few weeks and kind of was ranting, but I do pray that it was edifying to all of the elect. Call halal Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash, double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the elect. Shalom.